coverage of the NFL brings us to Atlanta, Georgia, where Freddie Falcons soars from the rafters inside the beautiful Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And we are underway from Atlanta. And able to get this out to the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And leading the charge, their lefty QB.
And he went from being the surprise pick of the first round to the full-time starter late in the season. And now he has a chance to take this team to new heights starting in 2025. Really was impressed with him down the stretch, going head-to-head with Jaden Daniels in a huge game. Now he could be their franchise quarterback for the next 10 years.
They'll go play action here with Penix. And complete to Drake London. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
I'm sure after he caught the ball and looked up, he thought to himself, uh-oh, trying to find some space, trying to make people miss. But a swarm of defenders were there, and they dropped him behind the line of scrimmage.
First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down.
A gain of 2.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Operating from the gun, Penix. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Drake London, 42 yards. And the Falcons will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Extra point attempt to follow here.
For the extra point.
It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score. Falcons.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by a touchdown catch from Drake London.
Bradley Pinion.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Commanders making their way out. Orchestrating the offense will be their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native, Oregon Duck product. Of course, that's Marcus Mariota.
Coming out of Oregon as the Heisman Trophy winner, we thought that this guy was headed towards superstardom, and while he didn't quite reach those heights, he did have some flashes along the way. And right now, his athleticism continues to keep him in the league. Still has a good arm, mobile, a great guy to have in the locker room. He can win if given an opportunity.
Yeah, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On play action, Mariota. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. The Falcons send Jamal Agnew deep to return. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
Javon Kinlaw forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And looking to throw, Penix. Here's a screen for Robinson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
A 10-yard gain, but it's 4th down.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Mariota. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Mariota now. Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Falcons offense and Drake London headed back onto the field. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is where close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Looking to throw, Penix.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Penix. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing again, Penix. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Quan Martin. He's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Following the interception here, Mariota. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd down and a yard. Moore, the man in motion. They go quickly here out to Moore. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And his throw here is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
From the gun, Mariota. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The sack backs him up, so now Mariota in Atlanta dealing with a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 4th down, the Commanders send out Matt Gay to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. Just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. So halftime straight ahead. Let's get you down to the Sunshine State and Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. First chance for the Commanders' offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, putting some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now Mariota. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Mariota taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. He'll get it to Robinson to begin the drive. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28. A play fake. Now Penix. Got an open man. It's McLeod. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Falcons first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Robinson with another carry. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll come up now, 3rd and 9. Now Penix. He's got his man, London, right side. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. Throwing is Mariota. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know, in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
45-yard line.
To throw Mariota. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Play action now, Mariota. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
2nd and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
And the Commanders' first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
To throw is Mariota. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. 2nd and 6 coming up. Mariota. Ertz has it left side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Here we go. 1st and goal. Mariota. Finding Ertz again. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Mariota. Touchdown, Washington. Zach Ertz. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Commanders put together a fourth-quarter drive to take the lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Zach Ertz touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down 10-7, a minute 6 to play. Now they need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. That's caught by Pitts. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here comes 2nd down at 5. On the draw, Robinson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A gain of a yard on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
This definitely four-down territory at this point, but a critical third down here. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
10 at the 38-yard line.
Final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. And 5 yards, not going to cut it here. That clock continues to run. Well, I'm no coach, but there's just not time right now for throws that short.
Yeah, sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. As Coach Madden liked to say, sometimes you have to take what you want.
Now 2nd and 4. He's back to throw. Pass complete to Robinson.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Boy, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now. One final shot. They'll look to throw. That is caught. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles. And that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.